Hey, Joanna. I wanted to thank you for making this purchase. It's very much appreciated. Today I'll be going over your website, talk about how to improve, and figure out how to get some conversions. The first thing I wanted to show you is this free tool that you're more than welcome to use. I like to use it because it just explains things in layman terms. I'm just going to type in your website. And what it does is it runs an audit on your website, and it tells you line by line how to improve your website. And just for like the interest of time and to save some time for the video, you're going to be able to go through this yourself on your own time and see what you can do. But for me, for this video, I'm mainly going to tackle on how to improve your website on a higher level. So when you do have time, I highly recommend going on this website and just scrolling through. Which leads me to my first point. So right now I'm looking at review child pages from SEO Optimer. And looking at this, I can already see a problem is that you don't have your products in the slug itself. So this is the slug, right? What you're seeing right now is the slug collections / front page / products / ageless. That's the slug. This is an example of a slug. And what I'm seeing is that you don't have a keyword specifically. So when Google looks at this, and Google looks at many things, it's not just a slug, but it does help Google figure out what your page is about. For example, let's find out what ageless is. And they're earrings. So that's the problem what I'm talking about, is that perhaps what you want to do is to put ageless earrings in the slug itself. Audacious ring, earrings, necklace, what is it? Right? So that is something that I would recommend for you to change immediately. Since we have the product page ageless open, let's quickly talk about your product pages since they're mostly have like the same setup. Here, again, this is the title, I'm assuming, and it doesn't have earrings in here. So to Google, it's just a page about ageless, right? So that's, I know like from a human's perspective, is like, hey, ageless, that's the name of the earrings. But to Google, it's like just ageless. What is ageless? So you want to put ageless earrings. You have the features, which is good. You describe what it is. But how about a short description above, right? Just answering what it is, why it's important, or why your client would want to purchase these earrings, things like that. Because you got to think about it from this perspective. And you got to ask yourself, what are people typing in if you want them to land on this page, right? For example, maybe someone's looking for pearl earrings. That's your keyword. Then you'd want to have pearl earrings like sprinkled throughout this page. So that way, if they're searching that term, Google can index it properly and your page would be discovered. This page would be discovered, if that makes sense. Let's go back to the site audit report and quickly go through it, and I'll bring up anything else that I see that I think is fairly important. Oh, here, the keyword consistency. So according to SEO Optimer, these are the individual keywords that they're seeing that you're using quite often, and same for the phrases. And from an SEO's perspective and for Google, in order for them to really know what your page is about, they put a lot of weight on the title tag, the meta description tag, heading tags. And like if for example, if one of your target keywords is price for a specific page, then you'd want it in the title, you'd want it in the meta description tag, and you'd want it in the heading tags. So these are just examples. I wouldn't, put too much weight or worry too much about it. I mean, later down the road, when you do want to target your own keywords, then yes, then that's when I would worry. But for this report here, this doesn't really mean much. I'm gonna keep scrolling down. The amount of content here. So generally speaking, and for a good general rule of thumb, is that you want to have at least 300 words per page. And right now it's considered a little thin at 149. The image alt attributes, this is important because you want to have a way to communicate to those who have a visual impairment. So in order to communicate that, you can write like a description in the image, and that tells the visually impaired what that image is about. And the reason why it's significant right now is because Google is valuing sites that are alt attributing tagging the images. So I would take advantage of that as well, the image alt attributes. It is worth mentioning that you want to put in your targeted keywords in the alt attribute description. So for example, we were talking about ageless earrings. You want to put ageless earrings right in the description. And that's just another way for Google to know what your page is about. Going down, I'd like to talk about your usability here. So what I like about this audit tool is that it does take a screenshot of your home pages in an iPad or iPhone, like how they would be able to view it in other devices. And the first thing that I see here is this pop-up. So back in 2017, Google actually started to penalizing websites that are using pop-ups that they would consider intrusive. And what I recommend is to take out the pop-up and instead probably put it in like a banner, or you can just have like a little sliding call to action, down here. So it's really up to you. But what Google doesn't like is if a person is trying to get to your page, but they can't do anything because of a pop-up. And that does not apply to, anything that has to do with like GDPR or the CCPA. But if it's like a pop-up for a call to action pop-up, then that is when Google would penalize you. So just wanted to let you know about that. It is worth mentioning that you want to put in your targeted keywords in the alt attribute description. So for example, we were talking about ageless earrings. You want to put ageless earrings right in the description. And that's just another way for Google to know what your page is about. Going down, I'd like to talk about your usability here. So what I like about this audit tool is that it does take a screenshot of your home pages in an iPad or iPhone, like how they would be able to view it in other devices. And the first thing that I see here is this pop-up. So back in 2017, Google actually started to penalizing websites that are using pop-ups that they would consider intrusive. And what I recommend is to take out the pop-up and instead probably put it in like a banner, or you can just have like a little sliding call to action, down here. So it's really up to you. But what Google doesn't like is if a person is trying to get to your page, but they can't do anything because of a pop-up. And that does not apply to, anything that has to do with like GDPR or the CCPA. But if it's like a pop-up for a call to action pop-up, then that is when Google would penalize you. So just wanted to let you know about that. Oh, favicon. Right now it says that your website does not have a favicon, which is the little fancy little icon up here in the tab, the work tab. So when you get the chance, just put that in there. It's just more for branding and for you to easily get recognized in the tabs, more so than anything. Social media, security looks good. I think that covers it from a high level perspective. Let's go take a look at your homepage right here. So I do like the simplicity of your homepage. That is awesome. You have your icon right here in the above left-hand corner. Menu is easy to navigate. I would probably, like I said, I would probably put the call to action over here. Might offer some kind of discount in exchange for the customer's email address. Scrolling down. Oh, I would make this a functional button here. It's a call to action, shop now. And then that would go to one of these product pages. New arrivals. Looks good. Affiliate program here with a testimonial. To take this to another level, I'd like to see like social proof. So perhaps you can have like a bunch of customers or former customers that's purchased something from your company or any other companies that you've worked with, and just include their names and their quotes or what they've said in the past. So that way, when a customer comes on this page, they can see that you work with other companies or people as well. And then that's the end of the page. So what else would I add? I'd add a frequently asked questions section, probably like above the affiliate program over here. Just answering some common questions about your company. I would also add a USP somewhere, because when I scroll through, I'm not really sure what makes your page, what makes your e-business different from other e-businesses, e-jewelry stores. What is your USP? What's your unique selling proposition? It's the question. I'd probably like put it like somewhere around here, right above like shop now. If you can describe it in like a short sentence, that would be great. I like that you have the site map in the footer.